Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to License to View, a sort of weekly podcast where two best friends get together and talk about pop culture shit. I am Jason. With me always, Zach. What's going on, man?
Man, not too much. Another day chock full of pop culture news, just because everything's getting canceled at this point. So
Everything's getting canceled. Everyone's
that's basically the
trying.
only news. It's just that another thing was canceled.
Well, I mean, there's some other good stuff, but mostly
Yeah.
stuff's getting delayed, stuff's getting canceled. Let me ask you this real quick before we get into our first section of the show. I
Yeah.
really don't like when articles use the word indefinitely.
Well, yeah. Well, it's.
Because to me,
There's a piece of news that just came out that used that, and yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It feels lazy, where it's like you don't want to
because
commit to
to
anything.
me, indefinitely means it's
It's never coming.
done,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I can't tell if it's one of those things where, like to me, growing up, the word several meant
Mm.
seven.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that. It means multiple. Like
Wait, you thought the word several meant seven?
seven. Yeah, I grew up thinking that it meant seven because the word
Interesting.
several, seven, several, seven. That's what I thought, right?
I could see the
Like
connection,
if
yeah.
you're gonna use if you're gonna say a few, just say a few. Like
Yeah.
why use the word several or use the word multiple? Like why
Or a
use
couple.
or a couple? Like you have other options. So to me, several made no sense as to why it meant
Hmm.
multiple versus just the word seven. I don't know, just the way my brain thought. Maybe it was too logical. So for me, I don't know if the word indefinite means something else besides indefinite.
I don't know. I mean, I think normally indefinite would mean canceled. That's like basically the old way to think about it. But I don't know in this new world where it's like, I don't know. Because for me, because there was a piece of news that
Diet
just
Coke
got
coming in.
released like last night, and it was like they used indefinitely, and I'm like, normally I'd be like, okay, this game is canceled. But first of all, it's like it came from a game where you know the game's not fucking canceled,
Yeah.
and it also, but I don't know because it's just like in this new world. I don't know. I guess they just don't want to put like a specific date on it because they don't want to have to keep pushing it back further. So instead, they're just going to hold it until
Like a few like
everything
a few
calms
years
down and they can
back,
actually put a date on it.
on the show, we talked about that Lewis and Clark, Casey Affleck HBO show
Oh
with
yeah,
like David Fincher, I think was attached to it,
yeah,
and they were filming and they did a bunch of episodes and they ended up canceling it. And I'm pretty sure like they just used the word cancel or it's no
yeah,
halted indefinitely, which means canceled. Like
yeah.
the idea that these game websites and news websites are going to use the word indefinitely for half of these things makes me go, okay, so what's the reasoning? What's the point
Yeah.
of this? Like, if you're just say delayed or paused or halted.
Well, that's the other thing about specifically that article that we're going to talk about is that the coupling of the words that they use is weird because they say delayed indefinitely, and that doesn't
Right.
it doesn't make sense because if you're delaying something, it's not indefinite. Like if
And
you're delaying something, that just means you're pushing it back. So you
I
can't
can't
delay
tell,
something
like,
indefinitely.
if what you're saying, they're trying to CYA in
Yeah.
case, maybe Sony's never going to pick up Last of Us 2. Like, no, of course they're fucking
No.
going to.
Yeah, of
Duh.
course they're going to release Last of Us. It's going to be probably one of the highest grossing
They
games of the
they
year
literally
whenever it
have
comes out.
I can't even imagine how much money they've sunken into that game
Yeah.
development. Of course they're gonna come back and finish the game. Like
Yeah.
duh. That'd be like if CD Projekt Red said, "Yeah, we're gonna pause production on Cyberpunk 2077
Indefinitely.
indefinitely." It'd be like,
Yeah.
"Fucking bitch, you waited 10 years to make this
Yeah.
fucking game. You're finishing that damn game because if you don't, your company's gonna sink."
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, if they
So
didn't release that game, CD Projekt Red or Naughty Dog, if they don't release, I mean, they would be effectively bankrupt. So
they're
there's no way they're
sinking.
not going to release the game.
And Sony, which historically obviously their game side does fine, but we
Yeah,
know that their movie side is trash.
fucking awful.
So this would sink a company, or at least
Yeah,
the same way that a couple weeks ago we talked about Diamond Distributors not distributing comic books.
yeah,
Well, comic book shops are donezo. Like
yeah,
the comic book market as a whole is going to suffocate because they can't tell these stories. And I mean, between the new Warrior shit from a couple weeks back, like
Oops.
even the stories that they are pumping out, people are saying "fuck you" to,
Yeah,
and now the books that people do want to read can't even get into the hands of the reader. So now everybody's
yeah,
losing money. Um, so to me, it all circles back to the idea that like I don't understand why.
yeah.
Why will we use the word indefinitely? I don't know.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
don't
trying to
know.
figure
It's
out
very
why.
strange. I mean, I get it from like a PR like control aspect where it's like you don't want to promise somebody a date and then you don't know, like nobody knows when this coronavirus thing
Just
is going
don't
to
say a date
settle
then.
down.
Just say delayed.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Like we know, like with
yeah,
Shazam 2, we know that they're going to delay production. Like with Matrix, they said Matrix, same thing, delayed
yeah,
indefinitely. I'm like, what does that mean? Delayed it's the Matrix.
yeah.
You're going to come back.
It's the
It's
Matrix and what other one was delayed? Oh, the Batman.
the Batman, yeah.
Yeah,
Shazam 2 production delayed. All this.
yeah,
Like, dude, we're. It's not. I don't understand. Maybe I'm
yeah,
missing out on this. Like, this is some sort of like internet journalism cue that I just don't know. 'Cause I
yeah.
didn't go to school for journalism. Like I don't
They
know.
didn't teach that in my fucking class.
Like everything that I know about journalism was I learned by proxy. Like
Yeah,
I was running dirty,
mm,
in the news biz, man. I'm like,
yeah.
let's just do this. And they're like, no, you can't do that. It's unethical.
You're the
What?
DMX of
Fuck
the
it.
news biz.
Yeah, exactly, man. But before we get all to all the other corona C virus is what I've been calling it because
C
it sounds more
virus.
cool.
Mm.
The C virus stuff. Let's get into what we've been up to the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Because last week we stopped. We didn't do an episode last week.
Yes.
So Zach, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks besides trying to survive, and besides knowing that your government has purchased 100,000 body bags for FEMA? Besides that, besides the fact that Resident Evil 3 remake came out today, and this is Resident Evil.
We're basically in
This is
Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil. What have you been up to?
Well, first of all, major life update. Your boy has a Monday through Friday job now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it just happened last week. They came out with a new schedule, and my manager was basically telling me that hopefully this will be like semi permanent once this whole C virus thing is over. But I'm gonna be morning shows Monday through Friday, so
So
your boy's gonna get
you're going in at like
terrible sleep schedule.
2 in the morning.
11 p.m. the night before.
Shit. I remember
But
that.
I'll
Oh,
get
that's
off at
true.
like 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, which will be nice. So I'll get basically all Friday, Saturday. I basically get a 3-day weekend almost, essentially.
Well, you have to go at 11 p.m. on Sunday.
I'm used to that shit. I don't
See,
care.
again, I've always worked the opposite schedule even when I was a journal or a photog, right? So like,
Yep.
I remember leaving and then the morning producer coming in, and I remember being like, I had to work the morning shows for like a month one time,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck this place, fuck
Yeah.
this position, fuck. I mean, the hours were fun because you had all day
Hmm.
after you got off to like kind of take care of your shit, but
Yeah.
like the idea that like I'm going in when it's dark, and
Yeah.
I'm leaving when it's bright as fuck. That really messed up that month. I was really messed up.
Yeah. I mean, if I hadn't already been doing like weekend mornings at my old station, I'd probably be like
Yeah.
more like my body would probably be more like jacked up about it. But like I've already done it in the past before, and I honestly prefer that. I prefer that aspect of like you get out of the show and it's like it's daylight and you can like whatever shit you need to do, you've got like plenty of time to do it.
So we're gonna be doing our podcast after you get off work.
True. That actually would help because honestly, the way that I usually do best on sleep schedules is like staying up as late as possible after the show. Because a lot of times during the weekends, I would like take naps after I got off, and that would just like fuck up my sleep schedule even worse because you have
Right.
to go back to bed before you go into work. So honestly, like the longer that I can like stay up and like not go to bed, and like if I could stay up from like 8 a.m. to like 4 or 5 in the afternoon or whatever, or whenever I need to go to bed, that would probably be better for me just because that would be a more like consistent sleep schedule for me. So,
Right. And
yeah.
obviously the weekends that we both catch weekends, we can do it on a Saturday morning or something
Yeah, for sure, dude.
or whatever. We'll figure it out. But so
Yeah. We'll figure some shit out.
besides
Besides that,
your dream of doing more work, which is stupid to me, and you receiving that because you put that out into the ether.
I put it
Um,
into the ether and it's some chaos magic, dude.
that's
I did my little
ridiculous.
sigil and I got what I wanted.
Yeah, now you're gonna fucking be busy as shit. Besides that, fun stuff. What have you been up to?
Mm. So there's a couple of things that I've got. So a couple things that I watched, a couple things that I played.
Hmm.
I didn't read too much this week, but getting into the things that I watched,
Sure.
Jason,
Hmm.
we're both fans of pop culture. We like to
Yep.
keep our thumbs on the pulse
Yep.
of America's pop culture scene.
And generally, I use my
So
index finger and my middle finger, but that's fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
right on the wrist vein. Um, have you watched Tiger King?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. This show. Okay, so I know we probably both know about this a little bit because the last podcast guys talked about Joe Exotic
No,
for quite some time.
the
Oh, you
moment
never.
the moment they went to Spotify, I stopped listening.
They did it on side story episodes. They were
Uh,
talking about Joe Exotic. I think they were talking about him when the murder for hire case just started. So like a year or two ago, I
well, I
think.
also don't listen to the side stories.
Yeah. So if you didn't listen to side stories, you
Yeah,
probably
I had this
but
is my first. This documentary was the first exposure to him at all.
yeah. So I knew a little bit about him going in just because I'd heard them like talk about Joe Exotic before. Of course, they don't go into like the whole backstory or anything because it wasn't like a full episode for them. They were really just talking about like the court case and like everything that was going on with that. Um, but this show's fucking bonkers, dude.
So I watched it. My Savannah and I, my girlfriend, we watched it because we were both off. And we both wanted to watch it, and obviously the whole world's telling you this thing's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's 7 episodes. Let's just binge it. And we watched it over the course of 2 days.
Yeah, super quick.
But
I finished it in like 24 hours. Like it was crazy how fast I finished it.
after we finished it, I was like, yeah, it was good,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that crazy. Like people kept saying it was crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, it wasn't that crazy to me because they own cats. That's more crazy to me than it is the murder for hire thing.
Honestly, the big cats thing was like, I mean, the murder for hire thing wasn't like a huge part of it. Honestly, that was where it kind of like got off for me a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
like
I think,
sped through that.
yeah, I mean, the stuff that I was way more interested in was like specifically the rivalry that he had with Carol. I was fucking entranced in episode one when I figured out that fucking Myrtle Beach had a fucking big cat
Oh
shit
yeah.
that I'd never fucking heard about. I'd
Oh
never
yeah.
heard of this place
And you
my
live
entire
there.
time. I lived there and I'd never fucking heard about this place. And then I realized that
Hey,
like
Savannah.
literally like the month
Hold
that
on,
I
Zach. Hold on.
oh
We're in
no,
the
you're
middle of
good.
doing our podcast right now. Zach just said that he had no idea there was a cat place in Myrtle Beach, and he
I had
worked there
no
for like 2 years.
no fucking clue, dude.
You guys never did a single story about this
No,
guy,
and that's the craziest thing because you know that in the documentary they said that the place got raided.
right?
Literally like the month that I left WPDE, like that month they
Was the
raided.
raid?
So I was
Oh
like it was as soon as I left, I would have heard about it if I'd stayed there
no,
for like a couple of weeks.
he just said that the month he left is the month they did the raid. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
so I would have heard about it if I'd stayed at WPDE for like an extra like 2 weeks. But since I left when I did, I didn't hear anything about it.
I think that what you were saying, Zach, about the murder for hire part being is so fast.
Yeah.
The cat part was interesting to me, but to
Yeah.
me, the whole documentary should have been about that lady killing her husband. Uh oh. Oh, I got
We
you
good?
back. I think I got you back.
Okay.
Yeah, you were frozen. No, but I was saying like
No,
the whole,
yeah, but
uh
insane, dude. Oh, you good?
oh, I got you back again.
Knocked me. All right.
I really do think that it should have been about just that girl killing her husband, or allegedly killing her husband.
Dude, she definitely fed her husband to some fucking tigers, dude. I
Yeah,
don't care what the fuck anybody said.
how are you gonna go
The
back?
lady fed her husband to tigers.
You're gonna go back to the part they're talking about the cologne and shit. He's like, no, you put something that they like on it. Uh oh, Zach.
Don't do this to me.
Uh oh.
Is it me?
You keep freezing on my end. I'm not sure what's happening on your end.
You keep freezing on my end, so I'm not. I don't
we
even
have
know
no
what's going on.
idea.
Fuck, dude. I don't know if I'm dropping the call or if you're dropping the call. Fuck.
Well, if it was me, my recording would stop.
Okay, so it's me then. I don't know what's going on.
We'll just keep going and see what happens. No biggie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but no, like, I mean, the thing that I mean, Carol, first of all, is like an insane, crazy lady and a hypocrite. That's probably what I hate about her the most is that she's like going off on like Joe Exotic and all these other guys, but she has the same fucking big cat zoo.
Oh yeah.
And also, she's a fucking slave driver.
No,
She
well,
has all these volunteers and she doesn't pay fucking any of them.
in just the middle of us watching it, I was like, well, this is so hypocritical because it's not only is it the same exact thing that she's complaining about,
Yeah.
but it's worse off. Like,
Yeah, her
like,
work is worse.
like the guy in Myrtle Beach, like That's a nice looking place.
It's a nice place.
It's not like the guy's gonna treat his animals like crap because that makes him money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, and I also don't care about
Hmm.
cats like that. I fucking hate cats. I'm all about dogs. You
Dog
know,
boy.
if it was like a wild dog park, I'd be all about it. But
Dingoes and coyotes, babe.
right, and foxes and shit. But
Yeah.
like the idea that she's gonna rally against these guys,
Hmm.
that's fucking stupid. That's
Yeah.
dumb.
That shit's so dumb. And I hate her, and her husband is like a weirdo. He like when he sang opera to her, I was like, what the fuck is even
Dude,
going on
my
right
initial
now?
reaction, I've never said this before in my life. I hate the fact that I even said this, but I was
Mm.
watching it and I went, God, that guy's such a fucking cuck. like I hate I like the portrayal of him in this documentary is such a
Yeah.
cuck guy. And
Yeah.
I don't
No,
ever say
100%.
that. But I was like, dude, this is like once in a lifetime I'll say this. That dude's a fucking that guy's a cuck. You
Yeah.
know. I mean, the way that it was shot, I really liked it because the guy, the guy who made it, even though he was there filming for 5 years
Yeah.
with the intention not about the murder for hire stuff, the intention is
No, it
being
was
about
really just about the big cat
the big
stuff for
cat
his.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, because I kept, we were probably at episode like 4 or 5, and someone was telling my girlfriend that, oh yeah, hey, no, and her friend watched the show and goes, hey, it gets worse with the abuse stuff, and we're watching and I go, well, where's it get worse at? Like
Yeah.
the stuff doesn't get much worse for me. I guess the euthanizing part is supposed to be what they're talking about, but like
I think
I thought it
so.
was like about like the one guy punching the cats and shit. But I was like, I don't like
Yeah.
the Joe Exotic shooting at the cat. To me, that's just survival.
Yeah. I mean, that cat had a hold of his fucking foot at that point, so it's like I don't know. It's like either he shot at the cat or like his fucking foot gets torn off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he shouldn't have put himself in that fucking situation to begin with. But I
Right.
mean, it's still it's at that point it's either you do what you got to do to fucking save your legs. So
I mean,
I don't know.
and during the whole time I'm watching it, I never really thought about where I stand about fucking people owning cats like that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I still don't care currently.
Hmm.
Where do you does it sway you in any direction after finishing it?
Well, I mean, that's the weirdest thing about it is that for me, it's like I don't know. I don't think it really made a strong argument either way because he kind of talks about it in the beginning, but then he gets caught up in just like the personalities of the park, which is definitely the more compelling bit.
Oh
But
yeah,
once he gets swept into that, he kind of drops the whole like animal abuse thing, and then in the
yeah.
last episode, he like kind of brings it back. But at this point, I'm like, I've already watched like 4 hours of your show. I've already been watching this show for 4 hours, and this is like the first time you brought it up in 4 hours since like the second episode of the show. So it's like I don't know. It's all I don't think it's a particularly I don't think he does a particularly good job of making an argument against big cat abuse. I
Which
mean, obviously, on the side of the aisle, I think I come down on the fact that like I mean, if you have these things, you shouldn't be like beating them or anything like
right.
that. But also, it's like I don't know, the whole like euthanasia thing. I don't know. I don't I don't necessarily agree with a lot of people's points on that because I mean, if you look at like you know pets as far as like dogs and cats, I mean like dogs and cats have to be put down all the time for like health reasons and stuff like that. So I don't know why everybody was getting all
Just
up
that
in
there, or
arms.
if there's just too many. Like a lot of
Yeah.
just animal
So
societies and SPCA's put down pit bulls all the time.
I mean, I know people put these things on a pedestal because they're like endangered and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. I mean, he's breeding it. I mean, if you want to get like completely like I don't know, like as unbiased as possible. I mean, he is like breeding these cats and he's like getting more tigers like into the world and making sure that like they don't go extinct. So
Right.
from that aspect, he's doing something good. I mean, he is also profiting off them with like cub petting and stuff like that. And then he ends up selling them off to other zoos, which once they leave his zoo, you don't know how well they're treated by some of these other people. So there's that unknown aspect to it. But I mean,
Yeah,
just from the
I
fact of
don't
like,
think that the guy who made it was trying to say either way. I think he was just interested in the concept of these private zoos who
yeah.
have cats. Because the whole time I didn't get. I thought he was pretty fair about showing
Hmm.
Carol's side and like Doc Antle's side and Joe Exotic's side. Like he was showing both sides and he didn't worry. I don't think he was biased either way.
No.
Um, I think that after watching it, I definitely came down more on the private zoo side because of the fact that all to me that Carol was doing in this documentary is trying to make a monopoly. That's
Yeah,
all it was to me, was that making a monopoly, that way she's the only person that had cats and can make money off these cats.
yeah.
That's all that was showing to me, was
Yeah,
that.
because I mean, she's doing the same thing that they're doing. She's just saying that nobody else should be doing it, and
Because
that's
with all the funding that she gets from the government or from all these things and all the money she gets, and she's not paying these volunteers, how
yeah.
come your facilities are so trash?
Hmm.
Like, why are they so trash? Like, you're in the middle of the fucking, like, where, like, some boonies in Florida. Like, what? You can't make a
She's in
better.
Tampa, Florida. Like, there's no reason it should be looking. I mean, like those cages and her cages were fucking horrific. Like the fact that those
And she
cats had
had
to
like
like
what,
stick
like
their they had
16
to like stick their
cats.
heads through like small like cages and stuff like that. Yeah.
There, and then the part where they're like, yeah, she has like 16 or 7 cats or whatever. Whereas like Joe and the other guy have like 200.
Yeah, and their facilities look way
Way
fucking better
better.
than hers. Yeah.
So it honestly makes me go, I wonder who's actually treating the cats better. You know,
Yeah.
like who's actually treating them better. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, but in
The
terms
only
of
thing that I will say is that the only thing I hold against Joe Exotic is that
the
no
haircut,
pet should be eating leftover meat from Walmart that
no
is expired.
no employee
Yeah.
should be picking out the meat from that big
Ugh,
Walmart bin.
that bin was fucking gross.
Who in this docu series, who
Mm.
was your favorite quote unquote character at the end of it?
Hmm.
Was it
Hmm.
old biker guy who thinks he looks cool wearing that biker jacket with the bandana around his head, or
Oh, I fucking hated that guy.
was it my favorite character, which was second gay husband who has no teeth but ends up being straight and has a baby with the other employee, and
Oh yeah.
he seemed really genuine.
Yeah, that was the other thing is that like fucking Joe Exotic like fucking brainwashed these people into being gay, which
Oh
was
yeah.
so weird.
In another world, he's a cult leader.
Yeah. Well, that was the most honestly that was the most interesting thing that I enjoyed the most about um the series as a whole was specifically his treatment of like Doc Antle and showing how like fake that personality is. I enjoy that a lot where you're like ripping away the veil where it's like I mean they had that the opening bit is like him talking about all right now you guys we're gonna get out I'm gonna go inside you're gonna knock on the door I'm gonna open the door I'm gonna say hey what's going on and then I'm gonna invite you guys to come inside. I enjoy like the peeling back of the layers that aspect of it I enjoyed quite a lot and showing I think that's a lot of things that like get missed in like documentaries and stuff like that is like a lot of times how fake these people like really
Oh
are
yeah.
in their interviews. So
Well,
yeah.
it was weird too because like Doc Antle too, like from the way that he's portrayed in this,
Hmm.
it almost shows me like in this from like the how many the girlfriends and the wives and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like either one of these dudes, even Carol, like
Hmm.
it could have been like Sharikio, it could have been
Yeah.
Jonestown, it could have been any of these, it could have been like any of these.
Couldn't
Like
have
what's
fucking children
stopping
of
them?
God, dude.
Yeah,
Mm.
what's stopping them from being any of these big cults?
No. Yeah.
Like that's essentially what it is, cult of
Yeah.
tigers, and I don't know. But I mean,
Yeah.
overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't think it was that crazy that people kept saying it was crazy.
No. Yeah,
I
I don't think it was like I mean compared to like I don't think it's too crazy compared to like other true crime stuff that I've like
oh
heard
yeah,
about and read and anything like that. Like there's definitely crazier
because
stories out
even
there.
the actual act of him hiring the guy, quote unquote hiring the guy,
Yeah.
like that even wasn't that shocking. Like that was
No.
that was
I mean,
it
at
was like
that point, it was like it'd been like years of him like threatening to shoot her and all that stuff, and so it's like I don't know. It was kind of like the natural progression of whatever.
I would much have rather, and this
I
is
was more surprised he just didn't try to like fucking go and do it
do
himself
it
because
himself.
he seemed
Yeah,
like that unhinged at the end of it.
yeah.
So
I mean, I liked it
I think my
obviously.
favorite character was the guy who had no legs.
The guy was cool. Yeah,
That guy was
that
fucking
guy was
rad.
cool.
Yeah, and he had that fucking what are
Or
they
the
called?
girl who lost her arm.
The Raptors or whatever, the three wheelers. That shit was
Yeah.
tight.
Or the girl who
Yeah,
lost her arm. She was cool.
dude, she was a cool chick, man.
She was cool.
Yeah.
I would rather have if they're gonna go with a murder for hire,
Hmm.
hitman for hire docu series, they need to do the lead singer of Azalea Dying,
Ooh.
because one, they're a band again, and they
Yeah.
put an album out and it's a pretty good album, and they're still
Oh, okay.
touring,
I have to
and
check it out.
they were a Christian band, and he hired a guy to kill his wife and did serve time in jail. And then in jail, try to get a court appeal because he needed steroids because he did steroids for a long time.
Wow.
And since he was in jail, he couldn't get steroids anymore, so he started developing man boobs. And he was like, "This is not fair. I need steroids." And the judge was
This
like,
is not
"No,
fair. I'm in prison.
no."
You're setting me up for failure.
So I think that docu-series would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, that'd be
Plus, the
interesting.
music would be really sick. It'd be a bunch of
Oh,
sweet metalcore.
fuck yeah. Heavy metal true crime. I'm down for that.
But what
Oh.
else? So what else have you?
So besides Tiger King, I also dove back into Westworld.
Okay.
I started back on season 2. I watched the first 6 episodes, so I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. Um, I like it a lot. I don't know why it took me so long to get back into it. It's just a lot of these things where it's like I watch the first season and then the second season comes out and I kind of like lose track of it. But I like where the story's going so far. I don't. The one complaint that I have is that it feels like, because the first season was all building up to like as the robots like gain consciousness and whatnot, and it feels like this season is like another build up. But I don't know, because at least in the first one, like the progression is like them like trying to establish consciousness and like these androids and whatnot. I don't know where the build-up's going in this season. I know they have like an end goal in mind. Like there's clearly like they state like that there's a central like point that a lot of these stories are going to converge upon, but I don't know why this point is significant or anything like that. It has a very bad J.J. Abrams mystery box vibe, which is like
Mm-hmm.
the first season had that too, and I don't know. I hope that doesn't once I finish this season, I'll probably start on season 3. But I really hope that season 3 doesn't continue that mystery box shit. I think it's really, it always usually ends up setting you up for failure once you commit to the mystery box every season. I mean, look at fucking Lost. That shit was like a shit show by the end. So
Right.
I hope it doesn't continue down that path. But I like what they're doing with a lot of the characters, specifically the androids. They've got a lot of cool stuff. They've got James Marsden doing some interesting things, and at the end of the end of episode 6, they tease a return of a character from season 1 that I'm very excited to see how this plays out for the rest of the season. Um, but yeah, that's been a fun watch. Episodes 5 and 6 dove into Shogun World real hard, which I fucking love because they basically stepped into an Akira Kurosawa movie and it
Mm-hmm.
looked fucking sick as fuck. My only complaint is that I wish they would have spent more time there because Shogun World is vastly more interesting to me than Westworld as a whole. Just because,
Shit.
I mean, at this point, I've watched like 14 episodes of
Yeah.
Westworld, and I'm interested to see them branch out. I was so excited to see them branch out into other stuff, but they really just took like 2 episodes in Shogun World, and now they're
Mm-hmm.
back to Westworld again. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I want more like outside of the box interesting shit. I mean, they talk all the time that there are all these different parks and all these different themes for all of the parks, and so far we've really only seen Westworld, a little Shogun World, and then they teased a little bit of like there's like a I'm trying to think of what era it would be, like the early 1900s, like India, like safari hunt,
Right.
like park thing. So there's a little tease of that. So I mean, they've got like tidbits here and there, but I want to like. I mean, like after watching those 2 Shogun World episodes, I was texting my buddy because he's watching season 2 the same time as me, and I was like, I just want a whole spin-off of just like Shogun World shit. Like that's all I want. It
Right.
made me instantly. It made me way more excited to fucking. It got my excitement ramped up to start playing Ghost of Tsushima whenever that comes out. So,
Right.
so yeah, I've been watching that. That's been fun. And then the last thing that I watched, I'll talk about anime next week because the new season started, but there really hasn't been. I think there's only been like 2 shows that premiered, so I'll save that for next week.
Okay.
But I it's been a long week for me. Been a long time. So last night when I came home, I decided I would curl back and watch probably one of my favorite movies, just to turn my brain off and watch something for 90 minutes. Which is I went
We
and
we bought a
watched.
zoo.
Yeah, obviously we bought a zoo with
We
Matt
bought a
Damon.
zoo.
You know the score, dude. No, I went and watched Clue.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a fantastic murder mystery. I love it. Tim Curry fucking hams it up for 90 minutes, and it's fucking excellent. Um, and Christopher Lloyd is in this, and I always forget about the fact that Christopher Lloyd is in Clue because he's so understated compared to Tim Curry. Um, but yeah, I watched that last night and it's fucking great. And it reminds me again that I just fucking love the Clue movies so much. That movie has no reason being as fucking good as it is based off a fucking board game from Hasbro.
I've never seen it.
You haven't seen it? Oh,
No,
you need to watch it. It is a
no.
excellent. I mean,
What
you
really?
like Knives Out. It's I would say it's there's a lot of parts that Knives Out like pulls from
Sure.
Clue. I mean, it's like with all those murder mystery things, but specifically in like the satirizing of the genre, Clue as a whole really takes the murder mystery storytelling aspect, and and I think it does a really good job of
What I
satirizing,
think
the whodunit.
makes me unsure of the future of this podcast is
Hmm.
that you wanted to sit back and relax and just turn your brain off. So you
Yeah,
watched Clue, which is fine, but
yeah,
you didn't want to watch like Predator or Commando or Demolition Man or Die Hard, like
yeah. But
action
like if
schlock.
yeah, but like this is for me, I feel like action movies are not movies that I want to watch before I go to bed. Action movies
What?
are like midday on like a Sunday where it's like I'm fucking, I'm slamming back a couple cold ones, and then I put on some Demolition Man and talk about how the
Dude,
future is going to be all Taco Bell and Pizza
I
Hut.
I go to bed listening to fucking T2000, T1000, T2000,
I
whatever the fuck
thought
it's
you were going to say
called.
you go to bed listening to the If It Bleeds We Can Kill It on repeat.
No, I go to bed. I go to bed listening to fucking Arnold talk to little no John Connor about the Matrix and what the fucking his skeletal structure. I go to bed thinking listening to that, man. I
uh,
go to bed listening to fucking what's the black guy's name in Terminator 2? Oh gosh.
oh
Um
fuck, what is his name?
what's the character's name? Always forget. What
I don't
I
know.
go to bed listening to his wife scream as Arnold cuts his hand open. I go to bed listening to that. That gives me sweet dreams listening to fucking the helicopter exploding.
uh,
I love that, man. I go to bed listening to fucking "If He Dies, He Dies."
if he dies, he
You know,
dies. Get to the chopper.
I quoted that line with some of my coworkers, and they didn't get it, and I was like, "How the fuck do you not get that
If he
line?"
dies, he dies.
And these guys are like 40. I go, "What are you talking about?"
Damn, son.
Ridiculous, man.
Can't believe it.
So what else you been checking out?
So that was it as far as watching. So in playing, there's really only one thing that I've been playing. And I dove back into it and I dove back into it fucking hard, which is I've been playing fucking Monster Hunter World.
Oh, right, you mentioned that.
And this game is fucking rad. I hadn't really played it since it first came out. Um, I don't really think any of the other people in our friends group have this game still, but so I'm kind of been just hunting monsters by myself. But this game's a hell of a lot of fun. Taking down giant monsters, swinging my giant fucking katana, and carving up some big beasties is a great fucking time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm at the point now in the story missions where I have to take down like the two big dragons, and I can tell. I already tried to take down the sand dragon like yesterday, and I fucking died 3 times. So this shit is gonna be a little bit of a march for me. I know it's gonna be a little bit of I don't know how I'm gonna do this honestly. So we'll have to see. Hopefully by next week I can have some updated progress on whether or not I was able to kill these big bad beasties or not.
Okay.
Because I really want to get to the DLC, because that was the main reason that I jumped in, was because I knew that Iceborne, basically the second part of the game, really, because from what everybody is saying, it's like basically a whole new game,
Right.
came out for Monster Hunter World, and they've got a whole lot of new critters and whatnot in it. But you've got to beat the first part of the story before you can get to it. So it's a lot of fun. You got the clutch claw shit, which I don't know how the fuck I ever played this game without the clutch claw before, because it makes hunting all these monsters a lot more manageable. Being able to actually like grapple onto them with a moment's notice and like break parts of their skin or break parts of their bodies or whatnot, making it easier to soften them up and get the parts that you need to craft your armor or your big badass weapons or whatnot. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's just having a lot of fun, dude. I'm really enjoying just like diving into this world. Like every time I boot it up, I can't wait to go back in and try to hunt down another fucking dragon. So
Sweet. I
yeah,
I haven't had that feeling for a game in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Feels so good,
I
dude.
like playing Call of Duty, but then I canceled
Yeah.
my Xbox Live, and now I don't care about playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got a couple things on my list.
Down.
If you're done,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm done. That was really the big
um,
thing.
I have about 10 things, but I'll skim through some of them.
All right.
First thing I did this past few weeks was watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Ooh, nice.
Love the movie. Obviously, we're both big
Yeah.
Bill and Ted fans. It's definitely the one that I watched the least. I
Mm.
watched the first one more often than I watched the second one. I think the
Yeah.
first one's still a way better movie. Two
Hmm.
is good, but it's weirder,
Yeah.
which is not bad. But one is like way more. But one's the classic, obviously. Two's the cult
Yeah.
favorite.
Hmm.
So love that movie. Then I started watching this show on Netflix. It's a Hong Kong police criminal crime show
Okay.
called OCTB, which is
CT.
like it's about a undercover uh, Hong Kong police officer in the like triad gang whatever. He takes down this gang from the inside out, and then he goes back to be a regular cop and works a desk for like 8 years, and then flash forward after the 8 years, one of his old guys who used to work for him at when he was a gang guy is now the new uh, gang leader,
Mm.
and he's now it's
Okay.
him trying to take him down as he returns back to the street, and it's good. It's like fucking like 30 episodes.
Hmm.
It's a TV show. It's only one season, but it's almost like it's cheaper quality because it's just like filmed fast. I can tell, so it's almost like a little bit better than a soap opera,
Okay.
but it's hard to explain. It's like it's shot well. It looks good. The sets are
Hmm.
kind of cheap. The props are a little cheaper. The budget's
Mm.
clearly smaller. So to me, it's like one or two steps above like a telenovela type
Okay.
thing. But it's good. It's on Netflix in its entirety, and subtitled and all kind of stuff. Um, then I watched a documentary on Netflix called Power of Grayskull, which is
Ooh.
a He-Man documentary, and it kind of just expands on the Toys That Made Us episode. They're separate things, but like it
Hmm.
kind of just expands on the toy line, how it was made, the after effects, the future of the toys, how they were rebooted, and how they kind of ebbed and flowed to where they're at currently now.
Hmm.
Um, Good documentary. It's pretty fun. And then the bigger thing I wanted to mention, I'll skim through these next parts real fast.
Yeah.
I started watching Miami Vice
Ooh,
again
nice.
for the third or fourth time, so I'm rewatching that. Um, I'm on episode 5. I'm still plunging away at Quantum Leap, which I've never seen before. I mentioned that last week. Episode 4 of Quantum Leap. It's really fun.
Okay.
It's fun Scott Bakula show. It's wholesome. Guy travels into new bodies and tries to fix a problem. It's fun. I started watching the A Team
Oh, nice.
on Amazon Prime.
Ba, ba,
They
ba,
have.
ba.
I never cared for the A Team as a kid. It would come on TV, but I never really watched it. So now it's the first time really
I
experiencing it.
haven't watched it like through and through. Like I remember there was a time where I think it came on like A&E or AMC all the time, and so I'd watch it like I think this was like middle school or something like that, middle school or high school, where it would show up on like A&E or AMC all the time. So I would watch like episodes here or there, and they're fun, but I never watch it like top to bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something that I never really cared for. I watched other shows, Miami Vice being one of
Hmm.
them, and it would come on all the time. I just never fucking watched. I mean, I could see clips here and there, but I didn't like dive into it. So I'm watching that, and I'm just noticing myself watching older shows more, shows that
Hmm.
if you want to call them retro, I guess now, right?
Hmm.
Things that I just never watched because I was too young or not alive.
All right.
So A Team, I'm still watching a couple episodes at a time. I'm pretty much doing like a my own version of weekly. I'm not binging any show. I'm
Hmm.
watching one episode at a time.
Okay.
So I'm like in a circle. So I'll watch one Miami Vice, one A Team, one $6 Million Man, one Knight Rider, which I'm also
Okay.
watching.
Nice.
Um, Doing that. Then I rewatched Zootopia a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
Really good. I think we talked before about this how kind of like with Westworld, They show you all these worlds of Zootopia, and they don't show you any of them, and that kind of
Yeah.
bugs me. I wish they would show you more of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I heard they're making 2 and 3. I'm,
Damn, they already got a trilogy plan? I didn't
but
know that.
but after watching Zootopia for I guess my third time watching it,
Yeah.
I'm like, which came first, Zootopia or fucking
Beastars.
Beastars? Because it's the same
I'm pretty
show.
sure Beastars came out first. I thought.
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing.
The plot is the same thing. Everything about it is the same thing as Beastars, except for the main character being a bunny, not a wolf.
Let's see. Beastars started in 2016. When did Zootopia go? Zootopia also came out in 2016.
Okay, so
So they came out at basically like the same time.
that's the other thing. This is the big one I wanted to mention because it's on Netflix right now.
Okay. Hit me with it.
And it's a movie that I've liked, I've never really loved, but after watching it this time, I can say that I'm officially in the majority. This movie is really great.
Okay.
Everything about this movie is great, and that's Batman Begins.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I liked it before. I always liked it. I always thought it was good, but
Yeah.
after this rewatch, I thought that it's excellent. It's
Yeah.
like the perfect origin story that they can give Batman. Like it's so like Christopher Nolan like hits it on the head like perfectly.
Yeah.
Everything about it makes sense. They give you every bit of everything, and I think the thing what about this movie is so digestible for people for like normies is that they start you out with ninjas. Like
Fuck yeah, dude.
they don't start you out with Batman, then you get ninjas. No. They start you out with mystical ninjas, and then you get Batman. So it's
Batman's
like,
a ninja before he's Batman.
right. So it's like you're not going, oh wow, Batman jumped a shark. You're like, no. We started out with fucking ninjas, and then he becomes a bat guy. So it becomes, I think it's more digestible that way.
Yeah.
I kind of was thinking when I was watching it, being like, how come he was gone 7 years?
Right.
So did he study with like Zatanna's dad? Did he study with detectives? Who else did he study with?
Yeah, they don't really hit on that aspect. They kind of like place it all on the fact that like Ra's al Ghul was like the only one who trained him, but like in lore, that's not true. He trained with like a bunch of fucking people.
And he was gone for like 14 years or something.
Yeah.
He left when he was like a teenager and came back when he was like 20 something.
Yeah.
So like, was he just like in Batman Begins? It almost made it seem like he was just a criminal like for a couple of years. Just like a couple of years, he was out there like robbing shit and doing stuff, and then he became
Picking pockets and taking names.
Yeah, and then he went and became a ninja. But I liked it. Obviously, the sets are great. Everyone in the movie is great.
Yeah.
I forget who plays Rachel in number 2.
Number 2 is it's Maggie Gyllenhaal, right?
That's what it was. Okay,
because in the first one it's not her. It's
Katie Holmes.
Kate Holmes. Yeah. Yeah, because I think
remember.
because Maggie Gyllenhaal plays it in the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who plays her in the second. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. This movie's great. I love this movie.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy of it on Blu-ray or anything. I should probably do that. Yeah, that's all I've been doing. That's pretty much it. Just watching a lot of retro TV shows. Haven't really read anything because my comic book shops are all closed.
Yeah.
So.
I did read my comics, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Get to it.
Well, what you get?
Well, I mean, I got the 3. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Since all the comic book shops are closed, I have not had any chance to read. And I have a huge backlog of comics to read, but I'm just not fucking doing it because I'm being lazy. So
these are the 3 I got
at
the comic book shop last week, which was I got. Honestly, this was the one I read last, but it's the one that's most intriguing to me, which was another one that you got, which was Join the Future,
right?
Which I read. I like the president's. I like the premise a lot. It reminds me a lot of Westworld in a way, where it's like there's a Wild West aspect, but there's also like the future thing. I like the aspect. I mean, it's clearly just about like. Clearly, the end goal is like gentrification is bad and all that shit. I mean, you can see that from like a mile away, but I'm interested to see exactly how they blend like the technology with like the old world stuff. So that's cool. They got like fucking laser jetpacks and shit. So that was pretty rad. I read Strange Adventures. I got that issue 1. I didn't really have any connection to this character at all. So I like where it's going. I mean, I read the guy's Mr. Miracle run, so I really like his writing and like the way that he writes characters and whatnot. So that was rad. I'm interested to see where that goes further. It looks, at least premise wise so far, it's very similar to Mr. Miracle, where there's a lot of jumbling of timelines and like the
Mhm.
who did what and that kind of thing.
The war
Um,
hero, all kind of stuff.
yeah, war hero. Um, is he really a war hero? What actually happened when he was fighting? Is he on the good side or the bad side? That kind of thing. A lot of the blurring of lines as to what makes a hero and that kind of thing. Um,
Which it honestly makes me. It made me less excited because I that's exactly what Mr. Miracle was.
yeah, it's a very it seems very similar to start off with.
And again, like I've said this before, I always put an asterisk here. I really liked. I like King's Mr. Miracle run. I don't think that's necessarily how I like Mr. Miracle. I think Mr. Miracle is a more fun character as a magician, escape artist. Not a super character study. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I never read his Vision stuff. I know his Vision is also another big one.
I haven't
I haven't
read
read
his
it.
fiction stuff.
His Vision run is another big like. Essentially he took Mr. Miracle, he took Vision, and did the same thing with both characters. Like made them like super character study, from what I understand. Haven't read
Okay,
Vision, so I can't talk about it. But he ruined Batman for a year and however long, 2 years.
was he the one that wrote the wedding shit?
He's the one who wrote Batman getting married and then
Ugh.
getting what's it called, left at the altar and then crying and then
Ugh.
he ruined
Batman with
Batman.
Tears is the worst Batman. Let's just say
Yes.
that first of all.
So, and Adam Strange, right? Adam Strange.
Yeah. Yep, Adam
I
Strange.
again, I also don't have any connection to the character because he was never a character that was popular during
No.
really our life. I mean, there's
Yeah.
been a couple runs. I remember I had a full collect run of a storyline of his from probably like 2003 or four or something, but I
Hmm.
never read it, so I don't really know the character. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't really know I can't really say if it's good or bad terms of the
Right.
character history. I just know that I don't necessarily want another character study of a
Yeah.
war person.
Right.
Um, I know Tom King used to be in the CIA, so a lot of his stuff, he he thinks that he is a soldier or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. All I know is that uh, the art looks great, and the
Yeah.
cover is done by Doc Shaner, who's a great retro style artist.
I love the cover for Strange Adventures. It's a great cover. I like it a lot. So I read that.
And
It's
whenever
pretty
the
good.
next books come out, if they come out physical, if they ever come out physical, I'll pick up the next two or three, and then
Yeah.
if I don't like it, I'll drop it.
Yeah, I was probably gonna read until like issue 4, and if it doesn't grab me by issue 4, I'll probably be done with it. But as far as the first issue goes, I'm interested to see where he goes. Hopefully he veers off in like somewhat of a different direction from Mr. Miracle. Because if it's the same thing with Mr. Miracle but a different character, I mean that's just lazy, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't have any desire for that. There are
Yeah.
certain characters that I care about, and Mr. Miracle to me didn't necessarily need that level
Yeah.
of, you know, dissection.
Yeah.
I mean, it works, but I don't necessarily think it. I don't think I needed it for him.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know. He also does it with characters that like really don't stick out that much. I mean, like nobody really knew about Mr. Miracle that much before he did it, and Strange Adventures, like I feel like nobody knew who the fuck Adam Strange was until he started this run. So
well, that's when DC gives him the ability to do that because
yeah,
no one gives a shit about Adam Strange.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, well, he's a dead character, really. I mean, he's not making money, but
no,
we'll give him Tom King. Tom King do his Tom King thing, and then maybe
yeah,
make some money with the character.
yeah,
Um, so let's go ahead and move into the news
yes,
section of the pod. I want to start talking about comic books. I'll mention this first since we're
yeah,
talking about comics as it is in DC alone.
yeah,
Jeff Johns,
hmm,
DC legend, DC legend that he is.
yes,
Flash, Aquaman, Shazam, Green Lantern,
hmm,
JSA,
hmm,
legendary writer, um, creator of Stargirl. Stargirl's coming out on DC and CW soon, I believe.
I think so.
But
Yeah,
he was giving out. They had pressers that they were sending out to companies. Attached to the presser was a letter he wrote, essentially saying what Stargirl means to him, the creation of the character, um, all this stuff. And essentially, Stargirl was made as a reflection of his sister who died in a plane crash. Um, and it was a really nice letter. And I usually don't care about these kind of things. It's usually sappy, but Jeff Johns is the
Mm-hmm.
kind of writer that I think writes. He's one of the greatest writers of all time, in my opinion, for comic books. Um, and the fact that he is not writing as much anymore really kind of bums me out, but that's fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
sister died in a plane crash, and then a big one apparently. I think I was too young um, to know what this was, but the
Mm-hmm.
character's based on her, and I love Starman. I think Starman's a fantastic character. Jack Knight, particularly the '90s Starman, is like a fantastic character. If you haven't read any of this stuff, Zach, you should definitely read some Starman.
No, I haven't read that.
So Jack Knight Starman is like it's the son of the original Starman. Um, it's like he's like a punk rock guy. Like punk
Ooh.
rock, he didn't never want to be a superhero. He said fuck that. So his older brother or his brother took over the mantle after his dad retired. He gets murdered. So Jack Knight has to do something. He wears like an army coat, has like patches on it. He's like it's a cooler version of a punk rock character, and Stargirl is another in the line of that star character.
Okay.
Um, I never was a huge fan of Stargirl, but the show, the teaser for the show, the trailer for the show, looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Has Owen Wilson in it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, he plays her stepdad,
Damn, all right.
who was the sidekick to Starman.
So
So
he was Starman. Or was
he
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 was
was
a
the
sidekick.
sidekick to
Okay.
Starman, and then so she becomes Stargirl, and he becomes a sidekick to her to like help her through her journey. It looks fun.
Okay.
It looks like the best DC TV show that we've had, honestly.
And this is only on the DC streaming app, right?
No, I think it's on CW as well.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I
okay.
believe. I
Interesting.
believe. I think it comes out on the DC app first, and then it'll come out on CW after. I believe.
Okay.
Comes out
Interesting.
May 11.
Nice.
May
I
11.
mean, I'm always interested to. I mean, none of the DC shows have really gripped me since The Flash. Although I do kind of want to watch Doom Patrol because that looked fun. Also, Brendan Fraser is acting, and I want to watch anything that Brendan Fraser's in because he's a fucking god.
He's the
But
best. He's the best.
so I need to watch Doom Patrol. But hopefully I'll definitely check this out. It looks interesting, and I've liked stuff with Stargirl in the past. So
Well, so there's that.
yes.
What do you want to hit next?
Motherfucking Michael Biehn, baby. Fuck, dude. This is some big Star Wars news, buddy. This is probably the biggest Star Wars news we've had in a long time because Kyle motherfucking Reese is going to be in The Mandalorian season 2. Hopefully, he has a bigger part than just a bit part like a lot of the guests had in season 1.
Yeah.
That was probably the most disappointing thing about season 1 of Mandalorian was that they had all these cool guests, but besides whatever the fuck her name is from Deadpool, none of them were like recurring characters, which was lame as fuck.
I think with someone like him, you have to give him.
I would hope so, dude.
He's too big of a action star name. He's too big of an action star sci-fi name not to give him multiple
Yeah.
episodes or a story or something. Because it's not only is he Kyle Reese, but he's also fucking Hicks. Like
Yeah.
he's in Aliens. I mean, he's too big of a name not to give him more stuff. I think that'd be a really big mistake not to give that guy more whatever, or make him a Mando. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna
Fuck,
do, but
dude. That's right. They're going to Mando's homeworld. Fuck, dude. I hope he's a Mando.
so
Well,
he
no,
could,
they're not. He's going to Yoda's homeworld, right? I guess
I don't know.
something like that. I can't remember what the fuck happened.
That's a big get.
That's a big get.
Maybe
Huge get.
maybe I'll actually finish the show before that comes out.
Between that and fucking what's her name is Ahsoka Katano, they got some big names jumping up for
Rosario
this.
Dawson, yeah, that's a big one. That's also a big one.
Ahsoka
That's
Katano.
a good get. Let's go ahead and move to this. I want to
Okay.
talk about
Tell me.
this ESPN documentary.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
This is a big thing for me. I'm a big sports fan, big
Yeah.
sports guy. Now basketball is probably my least favorite, but my first favorite sport. Let me explain how that makes sense.
Okay.
Basketball is my most hated sport because it's boring to watch,
Yeah.
but also it's very exciting to watch. Let me explain how that makes sense. It's the most
Okay.
highlightable sport of all time. It's such a fun sport to watch. but the current game of basketball, it's not a sports podcast, so I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to go into my sports rant. The current game of
Okay.
basketball is boring to watch because it's all 3-point shooting. So I don't
Right.
care about that. Not saying it's hard or easy or whatever. I'm just saying it's boring to watch. It's less physical. People say it is still physical. I don't necessarily believe that. I would rather watch people charging the paint and whatever. So this
Yeah.
documentary series, 10 episodes, ESPN. They're moving it up from the initial date to April 20th, I think, or April 18th. One of those two. I believe it's April something like that. April 10th, 18th, 20th. One of those two
Mm-hmm.
or three. 10-part episode docuseries following the Bulls in the 90s. It's called The Last Dance. This is awesome. This is awesome because one, ESPN 30 for 30 slash that crew who makes those movies,
Mm-hmm.
those docuseries, are excellent. And we just
Yeah,
had
that's a great crew.
we just had Dennis Rodman one recently, so I'm super excited. There's a D Wade one. Um, excuse me, that was really great.
I mean, they got to be pumping these things out on ESPN now. That's the only content they got. No more sports anymore.
And that's why they're moving it up because there's people at home. They know that it's done. Make some money.
Yeah.
Plus, it's Michael fucking Jordan.
Yeah.
And it's supposed
You
to
know
be.
that's gonna make some fucking money.
Oh my gosh! Like even people who don't like basketball, like me, who haven't watched basketball for a full season.
I mean, I don't like basketball, and I still like Michael Jordan.
Oh, I will watch this absolutely when it comes out. I mean, the last thing I paid ESPN for was Peyton's Places, which was Peyton Manning's 100th season of football, like anniversary special, where he went and like traveled the country talking about football with different players and history stuff. I paid for ESPN Plus just to watch that. I will pay for ESPN Plus just to watch this. Like, I will absolutely do that. If it's on ESPN, which I can't imagine why it wouldn't be on ESPN Plus. But all basketball fans, all sports fans, people who don't care about sports but just know Michael Jordan. This is huge. This is pop culture history right here.
Yeah.
This was the Warriors in the '90s, man. Like, this is the greatest of all time. If you honestly like LeBron, then you're wrong. Zach, what do you want to hit next? The Sony stuff, or what do you think?
I think so, because Sony basically pushed all of their movies back from, what was it? All their movies that were coming out in July, I think, are coming out in like 2021 now, which is a fucking bummer. Mainly because fucking Ghostbusters in that lineup, dude. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see Ghostbusters.
Afterlife was supposed to come out July 10. Now it's moved to March 5th.
Yeah.
Now that sucks because that we were supposed if this didn't happen, which I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't gonna get pushed regardless.
I would assume that it was gonna come out July regardless.
So if it comes out July 10, that's like what, 3 months away?
Yeah, it's April now, so it's April.
So moving to March,
May, June,
moving to
fall.
March 5th is almost a year.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Like that's terrible.
It's so
That's
long away.
terrible.
I just want to see it.
Morbius got moved from July to March.
I like how
and-
Uncharted is in this list, even though that movie's a fucking crapshoot.
Yeah.
But so Uncharted.
Ghostbusters is huge.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, of that list, I mean, Ghostbusters is the biggest one. I don't really give a fuck about Morbius. Uncharted's not going to ever be a movie because nobody will stay on that thing longer than like a couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, the fact that Ghostbusters got pushed back, I mean, that's a huge fucking blow.
On the other side, on Warner Brothers,
I actually didn't see this. What happened with Warner Brothers?
They moved Wonder Woman from
Oh,
August
yeah, they did
14th
move
to June.
Yeah.
That's another 8 months or whatever, 6, 7 months. Like, there's no excuse for that.
It's ridiculous.
There's no excuse.
They want that summer blockbuster money, dude. They'll delay it a year if they can get that summer blockbuster money.
The DCEU or DC, what's it called? The DC.
Yeah, it's not even the EU anymore because now they're done with the connected stories. It just, I would consider it, I don't know. It's just like the DCU. It's just movies that take place in the DC universe.
The DC universe can't handle. And then there's rumors about Warner Brothers trying to find new Aquaman.
I didn't see that.
There's some talk going on about how they want to go away from Aquaman, like go away from Jason
honestly,
Momoa.
Instead of a new Aquaman, they should find a new Aqua Lady or whatever the fuck. Because whoever was the fucking opposite of Jason Momoa had like no fucking chemistry with him.
Well, so this is not on our doc yet, or not on our doc at all. I saw a lot of rumors about how they're thinking about replacing Jason Momoa,
Mm.
and Amber Heard is like in the middle of some shit show with Johnny Depp.
I know that apparently she's in a thing where she like abused Johnny Depp or something like
Yeah.
that. Like I think he like made accusations that she like beat him or like
Well,
threatened his life or something like
it
that.
was like she accused him, and then there's like recordings of this, and she hired a private invest.
That
It's a
should be a documentary series.
the
Fuck.
yeah, you know. So it's all the stuff where who knows what they're going to do, and they're not going to do the interconnected universe. I mean, there's no point
No.
in mattering. I still say this that while I do like Aquaman, I
Hmm.
like Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman.
No.
I still want Aquaman to be a blonde guy.
Honestly, I just want him to have a hook for a hand. That's all I want. I want my fucking Justice League Unlimited Aquaman.
All right, well we can do that. We can do
Yeah.
that. Um, let's move up to we said a bunch of stuff being delayed.
Yeah. Bunch of stuff is
Batman, Matrix 4.
Yeah. Let's see.
See, were there dates for those? Let me look.
The Batman was supposed to come out like this fucking year. It's like 2020, I thought, or 2021. Was it?
2021.
So then the production got delayed.
Yeah, production got halted. It was supposed to come out at June 25th, 2021, and Matrix was supposed to hit May 21st, 2021.
Yeah.
So those both got delayed.
Probably to
Which I'm
2022.
fine with both of those being delayed. Like, if it was supposed to come out this summer, I'd be annoyed. Like
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, I'm annoyed about.
Mhm.
But Matrix being delayed, I'm okay with because you have to get that right. And
Yeah.
the Wachowskis, they haven't got it right in a while. Some
Since
would
like
say,
The Matrix.
some would say since 1999,
Yeah.
they haven't got it right. Now, I won't say that. 'Cause I think Speed Racer is really good.
Oh yeah, Speed Racer is
I
with them.
think
Yeah, Speed Racer was fun.
Matrix 2 and 3 are good, especially after
I
rewatching
think
them.
they're fine, especially after a rewatch. I think they're fine. I don't think they're as good as The Matrix, but I mean
Well,
they're good on their own right.
And then, but they've had a lot of stankers since
They got a lot of sinkers.
Speed
I mean,
Racer.
specifically one Ascending.
Jupiter
some-
Ascending,
Some big stinkers in there, but
and then Sense8 was
I never watched that, but I know that
fine.
critics liked it.
It was
I don't know.
fine, and it was a cool concept.
It was like a representation show, basically, wasn't it?
It kinda. I mean, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
saw a lot of articles about that. So,
But them delaying that is fine with me because I think that because only one of them's coming back. I think only Lana is coming back, which I don't know. I don't know their names anymore.
I don't. They both
That's why-
changed their names.
That's why I just call them the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
But they need to take time to really dial in that story because if
Yeah.
you come out with some bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna be like, you're ruining your own legacy now.
Yeah.
You know, you have to really explain really well how Trinity's back.
You have to explain why this movie's even necessary.
You have to explain what's the point. Is it going to actually be Neo, or is
Yeah.
it going to be something else? You have to really dial in
That's
that,
the other thing. Yeah, you have to explain how the fuck Neo's back, because he's fucking dead.
and you have to formulate the question because there's the purpose of the first three movies, like the philosophy stuff. Those questions are there.
Yeah.
What you have to make sure you have that stuff in the next one because if you don't have it, it's just going to be an action movie and people
Yeah,
are
it's gonna be a
not
generic
care.
action movie.
No, people don't want to see you can't just do what's the mate like no growing up people say do the Matrix and it's the fucking Neo bullet dodge.
Yeah.
Don't just have one of those scenes in there for the sake of which I don't think that they would do that because the Wachowskis don't go backwards, they kind of go forward in terms of like taking risks, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But they have to really this time could really dial in like making sure we have the right idea of going forward with why is Anderson back? Is it actually Anderson? Why is Trinity back? Is it actually Trinity? All this shit, Who's the current one? Is there a one? All this
I
stuff.
would be more interested in that. Is there even a one anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
These are great questions. Hopefully we get
know.
answers.
they need to be asking themselves these questions.
Yeah.
What's next, bro? Dude. AMC,
Ryan Reynolds is in a Dragon Lair movie.
Do you care?
Honestly, I don't care that it's him. I mean, I like him, but I'm interested in a Dragon Lair movie. I wonder if it's going to be animated or if it's going to be live action. But
I don't like Ryan Reynolds.
I'm fine with him. I think
I
his wife is super hot.
That's
I love Blake Lively to
Blake
death.
Lively, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you watched
love
that
Blake
stupid
Lively.
shark movie,
Yeah, I love that shark movie. She's great in it.
dude.
I didn't
The
watch that her new movie though. What the fuck was it called? The drum section, the
Oh, I didn't. I don't
whatever
know. I didn't see
section.
it.
I don't know.
No, I
That was a weird looking movie, but
and my girlfriend loves both of them, right? So she wants to watch all the movie, and I won't do it.
his new movie coming out looks fun. The Free Man, where he plays like an NPC in a video game.
Oh, I look stupid,
That looks fun.
dude. Looks like fucking Click.
It
No,
looks
what's
like
the
Pixels.
Pixels? It looks like Pixels.
It looks like Pixels for sure, but I forgive it because it's supposed to be a video game.
You know, I she my girlfriend wanted to go watch when they came out the Simple Favor.
Oh yeah,
So
I
we
heard
went
good
to
things about that movie.
we
I
went to
still
go
need to watch
well,
that.
we went to go watch it, and it sucked.
That's Paul
It,
Feig.
it was it.
He directed
The
it.
movie
Yeah.
fucking sucked, bro.
Yeah.
The movie blew.
I think that was his first movie after Ghostbusters.
It felt like I was watching and and I was thinking like there's supposed to be like a twist in it, right? Which doesn't really matter because it's
Yeah.
not a good twist. I go, oh, it's gonna have like a twin or some bullshit, probably something stupid, and it
Yeah.
ended up being a fucking twin. I was like, oh my fucking god, like it was not. And then like Anna Kendrick was so like boring in it. The
Mhm.
only benefit of that movie is that Snake Eyes is in it.
Oh yeah, dude, I like him. The Henry Golding or whatever.
Only benefit was that,
Fucking dope.
and he wasn't really in that much.
He wasn't. No lame.
He played what's her name's husband, Blake Lively's husband.
Oh okay.
It wasn't a good movie.
Interesting.
Don't watch it. Don't waste your time.
Okay.
But the fact that you even went to you paid hard cash money to watch Blake Lively versus fight a shark
I
makes
did.
me like question why you paid money to go watch Blake Lively.
I like shark. First of all, I like shark movies in general, and also I just love Blake Lively. She's
I mean I get it, man. I love like we all have our own things that we will pay.
look.
money to
I
see.
mean, you would pay any amount of money, and whatever garbage movie Natalie Portman is in, you will go fucking watch it. So don't even talk to me about questioning my Blake Lively choices.
Here's the difference between the two of us and our interest in actresses. One, there are a ton. Some would say every role she's been in is a trash role of Blake Lively. You can't say that with the Harvard-educated Natalie Portman.
I do just remember Natalie's rap from SNL. That's all I can think of.
All I can say is this: what was Blake Lively in? What show was she in?
She
One
was.
Tree Hill or Gossip Girl?
I think she was in One Tree Hill, but she was in the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, my
Okay,
man.
so
So you can't tell me about no shitty roles.
While Blake Lively's filming the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, fucking 10, 15 years prior, at 13 years old or whatever, Natalie Portman's filming Leon
She was
the
in
Professional.
Gossip Girl.
No, she was Leon the Professional. I mean, it's no question.
Oh no, I was
because-
talking about Blake Lively. Blake Lively was in Gossip.
Okay, gotcha.
Blake Lively was in The Town, dude. So get out of here.
Oh, that's her best role, is playing some fucking like drugged up Boston
Hey man,
shitty mom.
everybody needs that role. Let's see.
The fact that like I was saying, like, right, you're not wrong. I'll pay a lot of money. I'll pay any money to watch a Natalie Portman movie. But the fact that like you like sharks enough to pay that money.
I like Jaws. Jaws. I like Deep Blue Sea. I like The Shallows.
Well, let's stop.
I didn't watch The Meg.
Everybody
Because that
likes
was like
Jaws.
the dumb version of Jaws. What?
Everybody likes Jaws because it's fucking Jaws.
Deep Blue Sea?
It sucks.
Deep Blue Sea is a fun movie.
Blue
Samuel
Sea
L. Jackson
sucks,
gets bitten in
dude.
half by a shark. That's great.
I think the difference is this.
They have super intelligent serial killer sharks. That's awesome.
The difference
and
is
you've got
this.
LL Cool J.
You like animal shit. Like
I do love animal
like
shit.
if they've released Jurassic Park 4, not Jurassic
I'm already
World,
in the theater. I'm
you're
already in the
watching
theater.
it. Now, here's the thing.
I mean, first of all, I've already watched all the Jurassic Park movies, and I've watched Jurassic World and Jurassic World 2, and you know I'm going to be in the theater for Jurassic World 3. So, yes.
Now, here's the thing. I've seen all of them as well. I've seen all of them as well. And they all suck except for the first one.
I don't mind Jurassic Park 3. I like the fact that it doesn't just retread what one does. It goes in a different direction. specifically with the whole. I mean, it's not just a fucking Tyrannosaurus, which is nice. They
How
like
many
change up.
movies are we gonna get from Jurassic Park where they say we've made a new dinosaur,
Well,
and
that's
that's the movie?
that's my main problem with Jurassic World is that's all they've got is we've made a new dinosaur. At least with the old ones, it wasn't we made a new dinosaur. It's there's a new dinosaur that's like coming to fuck
Well, no,
us
no,
up.
no. That's why I like the first one because the first one wasn't we made a dinosaur. It was hey, we made dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But Jurassic Park 3 was hey, there's another dinosaur that you didn't hear about.
Well, no, Jurassic Park 3 is a similar concept to the Lost World, which is there are dinosaurs on this island. We got to go on this island. It
But
wasn't that
remember,
we
in
made more
Jurassic Park
dinosaurs. It
3,
was
no, Jurassic Park 3 was also like, hey, we're on this island trying to save these people and they lied to us.
yeah,
But also, you thought the T Rex was the baddest dinosaur?
the Spinosaurus,
You
baby. Oh
wrong,
my god, dude, I love the
right?
Spinosaurus. Plus, they got
But
the
like,
raptor shit. They got the shit with the raptors with the feathers on their heads, and they got the claw with the raptors. That was the one where they made like pterodons fucking like actually scary when they're in the bird cage. Oh, dude,
the fact
that
that
was
you know,
good.
the fact that you know these, I know two, I know five dinosaur names. I know four dinosaur names.
I love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs
Here's
is
the thing:
my fucking shit, dude. I
you just
love dinosaurs.
you name ones I can't even, I don't even know what those are.
You don't
I
know what
know.
pterodons are? They're the fucking they're the wing one. They've got short stubby legs. They've only got wings. They got hands on their wings, and they've got the long beaks.
That was a pterodactyl.
No, the pterodons and pterodactyls are different.
Okay, so I know four.
Pterodactyls actually have like bodies. Pterodons like their wings are like connected to their
I
body.
know. I honestly, I'm thinking of what dinosaurs I know. I think I really only know like the ones that color coordinate to Power Rangers.
Fair enough. Wait a second,
Tyrannosaurus,
pterodactyls in there.
Triceratops,
Triceratops.
pterodactyl,
And then the mastodon, which is not a dinosaur,
and then saber-toothed tiger,
and saber-tooth tiger, which is also not a
which is not a
dinosaur.
dinosaur. Um, okay, let's see. Um, AMC Theaters has furloughed 600
Yeah.
employees at the Kansas headquarters among the C virus. This is from Deadline. Um, this is good and bad.
Yeah.
Mostly bad, but anytime
Yeah.
there's something furloughs, it blows, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is how a company has to stay afloat. This is bad for the movie industry, which ties in to that note from Christopher Nolan. I think it was last week
Yeah,
I mentioned it.
yeah. I think last week or 2 weeks ago or something
Yeah,
like that.
last podcast episode
Yeah.
where Nolan was writing to help theaters.
Hmm.
AMC, which is one of the biggest American, theater companies, that's a big deal to furlough that many people at their headquarters. Imagine everyone who's not at the headquarters. You know,
Yeah.
like just locally. Okay, how many fucking people are just aren't working? You
Yeah.
know, so I mean, with the theater shutting down, that's like multiple industries now between the film industry. You know, games are doing fine because you can still put games out digital. It's fine.
Yeah.
Comic shops are dying. Comic books are dying.
Yeah.
Movie theaters are dying. I mean, like it's. And I don't know about you. Have you had any desire to log onto your Xbox and just rent a movie from? Hey, you want to watch this movie? We're putting it on digital. Like I've had no desire to
I
watch
have no.
Onward.
Well, the ones that they've put out is like. First of all, the ones they put out, I've had no desire because the ones they put out were like they put out the Invisible Man early, which is like I don't give a fuck about that movie. They put out
Yeah.
Bloodshot, which is like cool, but like I have no desire to like fucking pay money to watch Bloodshot.
Right.
The only one that was interested in was that it's coming out. I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out soon. And I didn't get to watch it in theaters, and I probably will rent it because Bad Boys for Life is coming out. I was like, I didn't get to watch that in theaters, but I do want to watch it.
I won't. I'm not gonna watch that movie.
Bad Boys for Life.
I don't think I will. Did you look at these Final Fantasy VII Polygon figures?
Dude, honestly, I looked at all the figure links that you sent me. Those Polygon figures are like right up my fucking alley.
They're rad, right?
I fucking love the way they look. I love the way I think my favorite out of these are probably I like Sephiroth a lot, and I like what the fuck? Oh my god, why can I not remember his name now?
Which one?
Black guy.
Oh, Barrett.
Barrett. Jesus, I like
I
Barrett.
thought you were gonna be like, what's the blonde guy, main character?
No, I couldn't remember Barrett, but I think Sephiroth and Barrett are probably like my two favorites out of this lineup. But
I
yeah,
feel
these
like
look super fucking rad.
these are official Square figures too. I think
Yeah.
they really have to come with swords for Cloud and Sephiroth.
Oh, for sure, they have to.
Like Rufus, is that Rufus right? Is that
Which
his
one?
name? Red hair
Oh,
guy.
the red hair dude. I think it
What's
is.
his name? Reno.
Oh, okay.
Reno. Okay.
Yeah. We got Red 13, which is rad.
Yeah. Um.
Although Red 13 as a polygon just looks like Simba, which is kind of weird.
Hold on. Rufus Shinra. Rufus is the bad guy. Okay, I knew there was a guy named Rufus in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, these figures look great, man. I won't buy these obviously because I don't care enough, but they look really rad. I mean, and they're small little
Yeah.
figures, but for the buy
Oh,
a
do you
whole
have to get them
box set,
together? Oh, that kind of stinks. I'd rather just get like the
no,
separate.
it's a good set though.
It is a good set. Yeah.
You know, speaking of, I'm not going to talk too much about toys because I'm a huge toy guy and I've been getting
Yeah.
back in the toy game.
Hmm.
But Hasbro started putting out a bunch of original GI Joe
Ooh.
episodes on YouTube for free, so you can just go on YouTube and watch a bunch of like OG GI Joe episodes.
Nice.
Because they're kickstarting GI Joe back because it's been dead for a
Ooh.
while.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously, the comic book's still going. I read the comic book, Real
Hmm.
American Hero. There's two comic books for GI Joe. The second one's a bunch of SJW stuff. I don't want to read that. The first one's written by Larry Hama, the OG, still great. Obviously, the movie's coming out,
Yeah.
and the toy line's been dead for a while.
Yeah, it's been.
So,
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw like GI Joe toys.
well, they're rebooting, if you want to call them that, kickstarting GI Joe back at 6-inch. It's called GI Joe
Okay.
Classified. I have the first 5 figures pre-ordered. A lot of people pre-ordered Snake Eyes. It came out. The box set looks amazing, and I'm mad that I didn't pre-order it because it fucking looks sick. If you go to YouTube and watch unboxings of it, I'm so mad. They announced it at Toy Fair a few months back. I went to the page to pre-order it. I said, nah, I'm good. And I'm fucking mad that I did it because the box set looks fucking sick. So now I have to buy the regular Snake Eyes when it
Is
comes
this the
out.
one from the Big Bad Toy Store classified series?
Yeah, that's Big at Toy Store Classified series. But they don't have Snake Eyes on there because it's not up for pre-order yet. They
Yeah,
have
the only one I'm seeing right now is they've got fucking what is it? Count Destructo? What the fuck is his name?
Destro.
The one with the metal Destro.
They have Destro. They got the big Roadblock. They got Scarlet. They got Duke.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you this.
Damn, these are pretty fucking sick things.
This is the first time Joe's have been at 6-inch. If you go to YouTube or go to Google or YouTube and search up Snake Eyes Classified, you're gonna find a bunch of people reviewing this figure because it came out recently. It's supposed to come out in April and summer area, but people who pre-ordered it are getting there early.
Okay.
The first batch early, and it's a sick black box set with the fucking Japanese like dragon or something on it, demon or something on it. It's like embossed. Has like a bunch of figures and shit, like a bunch of hands and swords, and there's a fucking like, it looks amazing.
Fuck, dude.
So
I mean,
I'm
just
mad that I
looking at
didn't
the
do it.
thumbnails for the YouTube video, Snake Eyes looks fucking sick as fuck.
So I'm mad that I did not pre-order it because I am now trying to look for a aftermarket, and it's $120. So
Holy fuck.
I'm not gonna pay $120 for that. I'll just buy the regular version when it comes out.
That goes into the other. I went trying to find. We didn't really talk about this, but you can't fucking buy a Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, they're sold out everywhere.
But I was interested in the Animal Crossing version because it looked fun and neat. But the fucking scalpers took them all, and they're selling them on the aftermarket for like $600.
That's like double
Which is
the
like
price.
fucking ridiculous. I'm like, I'm not paying six. I would just rather just buy a regular Nintendo Switch at that point.
200% markup, dude. I fucking
Yeah.
hate scalpers, man. And
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit.
I'd have to deal with them so much in the toy world, you know, like the Snake Eyes thing, man. Like the moment people were getting them, I was looking at eBay and like Mercari and these places that selling apps,
Yeah.
and people retails for 40.
Mm-hmm.
People are putting them up on eBay for 150.
Jesus.
125, and like I get it, make a profit. It's a fucking 250% profit or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't like G.I. Joe enough to buy that. I'll just wait till the regular one comes out. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What else do you want to hit before we call it? Oh, Top Gun Maverick delayed to December,
Yeah, that was the other big thing. I can't believe that.
which I get. I mean, I'm not necessarily
I mean,
dying for that movie, but I wanted to see it.
yeah, I wanted to see it too. I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just this weeks of disappointment of everything just being pushed back because nobody knows when the fuck this shit's gonna blow over.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's
Zach, what
unfortunate.
else on our list do you want to hit before we wrap up? Because I know you want to. It's 11 o'clock. You have to go to work soon. I don't want to hold you up too long.
Oh, you're good. I mean, the only other thing that I found that was interesting was that Edgar Wright's already working on his next film, which is not surprising. The man's a workhorse, but it's an interesting film. At least the premise is, which is about a robot writing a film. So I don't know how that's going to necessarily work out,
I just
but
want him to make another movie with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
yeah, that's all I want.
I'm ready for the fourth Cornetto movie. Well,
That
if
would be nice.
that's all she wrote, Zach, you ready to wrap up?
That's all she wrote.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
I think we're good to wrap up.
Let's go ahead and call it for this episode. We're about an hour and 20 minutes, so that's good.
Yeah,
Good ep. Maybe it's becoming a recurring joke of us having a topic and
and
not
not
doing
getting to
it.
it,
We'll eventually get to this topic.
we will. We'll get
Guys,
there.
thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be safe of the C virus.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with more pop culture, more movies, more all that
Hmm.
jazz.
All that
Zach,
stuff.
we'll see ya,
Yes.
bro.
Protect your necks out there, kids.
Oh shit. Fucking Wu Tang up in this
Uh
bitch,
huh.
man.
Oh, that was the other shit. Oh, in Westworld, that was probably one of the dopest parts where they're at the part where they were in the geisha. There was a geisha shit with the Shogun in Shogun World.
Hmm.
They fucking did a Japanese instrumental remix of fucking Cream by Wu Tang, and I was like,
Wow.
fuck me, that shit was
Really?
dope.
That's
Loved it.
crazy.
So
Well,
good. I was
I'm gonna have to
listening to it
YouTube
and I was
that.
like, why the fuck do I recognize this? And I looked up. I was like, oh, that's because it's fucking Cream.
All right,
Okay,
give me a second. Hold on. Before we end the podcast for sure. Let me look at this real fast.
it's good.
Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick before we end the pod, so I can just hear a glimpse of it real fast. Westworld, Cream. Here we go.
So good, dude. I think it takes a little bit to ramp up,
Yeah,
but
so I'm okay. I hear it now. Second highest liked comment on the video was that Shogun did not protect his neck.
he did not, dude. He did not protect his neck.
Or the top comment on my page is my friend's reaction. I'm probably high as shit, but is this Japanese slapping some Wu Tang? Me. Well, the Asian delegation did draft him years ago. So that's good old. Not only is it a joke, but it's also a Chappelle Show joke. So
Oh yeah, that one's got layers. I like
and
it. Yeah.
there's people throwing bars on here.
Are they really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
trying to like you're putting their eights on here.
Hell yeah.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well,
Drop
thanks for
that hot fire
watching.
mixtape, baby.
Thanks for watching License to View. We'll be back next week. More of all this.
Yes.
Peace.
See you guys.
I mean, it's still going.